Tonight, we're looking at life from the other side of the steering wheel. We're looking at pedestrian safety.
And from next year, by law, new car designs have to be much friendlier towards pedestrians who wander into their path.
So, if someone's not looking where they're going or a child chases after a stray ball, things could soon be less disastrous. To get a clearer understanding, we need to look in more detail at the sequence of events when a pedestrian is hit. For a start, with a car, there's no such thing as being run over. You actually get scooped up. The first impact is as your leg hits the bumper. Then your hip and shoulder hit the bonnet before your head follows suit, often into the wipers or screen, depending on the size of the car and you. As the driver of the car brakes, you fall off the bonnet and onto the road for another impact. If you're unlucky, you hit the road head first. But however you fall, it's only from about 4 feet, meaning it's the first impacts with the car that cause the most damage.
So, what are the solutions? Well, you may be surprised to learn that we've known how to make cars pedestrian-friendly for decades.
Back in the 1980s, the Transport Research Laboratory produced this heavily modified MG Metro. It incorporated so many pedestrian-friendly features that it could pass next year's tough regulations. But since then, manufacturers have been very slow to utilise its technology. Honda did, though, in 2000.
Much of what was learned has been incorporated into the current Honda Civic. The bumpers are deformable to cushion that first impact, whilst the profile has been designed to spread that load as much as possible. Under the bonnet, everything's been done to minimise the potential damage to the head.
The engine is mounted lower down, so there's room for the bonnet to crush on impact. The wiper assembly and radiator housing break away easily, and instead of sharp metal inner wings, the Honda uses softer materials that are friendlier in a collision.
Now, the law is trying to make all cars this safe, which has meant a whole new testing regime. But rather than using dummies which don't fall in a consistent manner, simulated body parts are fired in a repeatable, controlled way into the parts of the car most likely to cause them damage.
Stand clear, counting down. 3, 2, 1.
The legislation demands that a simulated knee joint should only bend by a certain amount in a test which represents a 25-mile-an-hour crash, and the forces on a simulated head should be strictly limited. Honda Civic comfortably passes these tests.
But it's not just Honda that's moving ahead. Volkswagen, Citroën and Seat now have models that perform as well in pedestrian tests, proving it is possible to make conventional average-sized cars more pedestrian-friendly.
But is it possible to make one of these more pedestrian-friendly? Could a 4x4 ever meet the regulations? To see the challenges facing manufacturers of 4x4s, we decided to try our own pedestrian crash test. Travelling at about 50 miles an hour, TIF will, as in a real collision, brake to about 30 miles an hour before hitting an average-sized 75-kilo dummy. At first glance, it looks absolutely catastrophic. But when you look at the high-speed footage, you see that in some ways, being hit by a 4x4 is not as bad as being hit by an ordinary saloon. Experts agree that if you're an adult of average height, the load of the hit is more evenly spread across your body by the bluff front of the 4x4, and your head isn't so violently pivoted onto the bonnet. Also, many 4x4s have plenty of crush room above the engine, though not this one. Our dummy's head slammed into an air intake underneath the bonnet. When we tried the same tests at a slower speed, about 20 to 25 miles an hour, the differences between the saloon and the 4x4 were more marked. With the car, the dummy still went into the air and the head crashed down hard onto the bonnet, but the dummy had a more gentle experience with the 4x4. It's important to stress that these tests were with an adult dummy. Small people and children might suffer more with the 4x4 because the head would hit the hard area above the grille. So, although it looks like different types of car will be able to pass the new legislation, don't be surprised if we start seeing technology like pop-up bonnets and even airbags as manufacturers strive to improve their cars' safety for pedestrians of all sizes. None of which will ever make the business of being hit by a car anything other than horrific. But at least it'll be better than this.